Hi guys, Ethereal here with my first ever Genshin guide, and today this video will be covering about my artifact runs. For those who are curious, or maybe for the players who want to look for more extra artifact EXP for fodder in leveling up their 5-star weapons. Alright, first things first. As you can see, my current team consists of Sayu, Zhongli, Venti, and Rosaria, and this is actually comes from there's a few reasons for that. First of all, if you guys are familiar with the Elemental Resonance, which is like a team buff if you have 4 party members of your team, and if you have two of the same element. So the Anemo Resonance specifically is the best one for exploration and for the artifact runs in this case, because it decreases stamina consumption by 15%, movement speed increased by 10%, and of course the minor 5% cooldown. And that's one of the few, and that's Anemo Resonance is usually very helpful for exploration, and for this case it would be our artifact runs. And this is the team that I use for any sort of exploration or any kind of mostly this is my exploration team basically. Just ignore the name. And the reason why I use these characters are simple. First, of course, Venti Sayu for double Anemo, Zhongli just to have a shield to break any crystal chunks along the way, but this spot is usually just an empty spot. But the reason why I run Zhongli, because there is one location at Stone Gate that requires you to activate the pressure plate in order to turn on the updraft wind, which gives you access to one of the artifact spots. And the reason why I use Rosaria is because of a passive, but of course Rosaria spot, or the 4th spot in this exploration party, can be replaced by anyone. And I used to use Venti for bunny hopping, and in case you're not familiar, I can show you very quickly how bunny hopping exactly works. So as I glide down, essentially bunny hopping is kind of like this tech in Genshin that makes use of the game physics in the game, where it's basically, if you guys know what momentum is, where you move forward and you don't, unless you apply an external force, you can't really stop. So I guess there is that. So let me go find a quick spot. So let's say this empty field. So usually when you're exploring, right, if you don't have Sayu, you would usually use tall characters like Zhongli to run, or you would just regularly sprint, right? And this will get you quite far. But bunny hopping is a tech that people have found for quite a while now actually, where you can use characters, but you can only use this only applies to characters with the short boy models. So characters like Bennett, Xingqiu, or even Venti. But you can also use a male traveler if you guys don't have any of those characters. So essentially bunny hopping, you start it off by, let's say whatever your sprint button is, whether you hold it or whether you just tap it to let them go into the running animation. And then you just mash jump a lot of times. And what this abuses, what is happening right now, sorry, I'm a bit sick, but sorry, I mean, what is happening right now is essentially, as I run out of stamina, basically every time the Venti jumps, it carries over a certain amount of momentum, and by sprint and spamming your jump button, you're essentially giving your character momentum. It actually does give you a bit more of a distance compared to just regular sprinting. If you guys ever want to test this, I would say one of the locations I love to use is in Mondstadt, where there's actually a straight line on stairs, but that's just a very minor thing. And of course, for why I use Sayu, well, obvious reasons, right? Because she can roll. And I think I'll mention it in the artifact runs video, but one of the techs that I use for Sayu is that before her roll ends, I just swap to another character so that I can skip the kicking animation. Anyways, so you got double Anemo down. So the 4th character, you can actually use anything. For this case, I use Rosaria because one of her Ascension talents, the second one, I believe the 3rd one rather, is that between 6 PM and 6 AM, the movement speed of your party is increased by 10%. So essentially at night, but it only provides this buff in exploration, which is perfect because it actually does stack with the Anemo Resonance, as you can see in the videos later. And if you don't have Rosaria, you could also use other characters. So Venti is also essentially useful because his regular passive is to decrease your gliding consumption stamina by 20%. It doesn't stack with any other characters that have the same passive like Amber. So if you don't have Venti, you could always just slap on Amber on your team because she has exactly the same passive. or if you don't have Rosaria for the movement speed buff, there's two other characters that I can recommend you guys to use, which is Razor, which decreases your stamina consumption for your party by 20%, and I believe Mr. Kaya, who also has the same passive. So onto that, I guess I'll just quickly show all the... I just prepared all these pins on the map for anyone who wants to know where the locations of these artifacts are. But you can always watch the run later, hopefully. I don't want to go for too long for this part. And I guess another thing I would like to... The last few things I would like to say is... if you guys have the Red Feather Fan, which you can obtain from the Reputations and Bounty system in Inazuma, this is especially helpful because it increases your gliding movement speed by 30 seconds. By 30% for 30 seconds. Sorry for the stutter. And another thing I also like to do, sometimes I forget to do this, it's not completely necessary, but you can always make yourself some stamina food, and specifically something that decreases your sprinting stamina if you don't have Sayu and such. It's especially helpful if you use characters that are really good at bunny hopping. And of course, I personally prefer to use the delicious minty rolls because they're really cheap to make and they decrease both gliding and sprinting stamina for 25%, by 25% for 15 minutes, which is just long enough for your entire artifact runs. And in case you wonder how long the artifact runs take, usually you start all the different locations, you start off with Liyue, and then you eventually go all the way to Inazuma and stop there. In my experience, it takes slightly over 20 minutes, so if you can't spare that time, or you can only do 15 minutes, or you don't feel like doing the full run, that's perfectly fine, because as long as you get your artifact EXP, that is okay. And so, I won't really show you the rough routes. You can watch the slightly over 20-minute video of my run, or you can just skip it, because I'll be leaving the links in the description for pictures for all these different locations, if you guys ever want to refer to it, yeah? So generally, I just like to start at Huagong Stone Forest, and I'll just quickly zoom over all the different locations. So generally, I like to start at Huagong Stone Forest, and then I go to this TP to this side, the eastern side of, I believe, is this Bishui Plains or something? Then we go clockwise, onwards to the Chinchu Valley teleporter, then once that's done, we'll go here, the area in between Tianheng and Linju Pass. And then onwards to Yaoguang Shore and get the one at Salt Terrain. Then I move on to the two in Wangshu Inn and Dihua Marsh. Then after that, I'll teleport to the Qingshu village and go to this side. And then of course, the final part of Liyue will be in Stonegate. The two in Stonegate, where if you remember this location, the reason why I run Zhongli, you could run Fischl or you could run Mail Traveler, that works too. And the reason why I run Zhongli is simply because of this pressure plate, because climbing this area is quite tedious, and you do kind of need the updraft, unless you have Kazuha, but even with Kazuha it would be quite annoying. And then we move onwards to the... where is this place called? The Dragonspine. I completely forgot to pin this. Yeah, but basically I'll pin this, I'll show the pictures in the sections afterwards, but we'll leave it at that. So usually this area here would be in the cave. You can watch the videos. I'll actually just put another point right here. You can get like two locations here, and I'll show the rest in the pictures. So yeah, so why is there a reason for you guys to do this? Now that's a question, that's a very good question. Why should I spend 20 minutes of my life in playing Genshin do this when I could just play another game? Well, technically yeah, you can just play another game, but if you are at endgame and you're leveling up artifacts like a lot of other veterans out there, if spending 180 resin on artifact domains will only yield you enough fodder to level up a few artifacts, but there are some days where you don't actually get like good artifacts at all, and let's say you gain something that's almost decent but it ends up being not really that great of an artifact, you can sacrifice your 1-star, 2-star, 3-star fodder that you got from this run in order to level up. Post edit will actually put on picture, but I believe currently these artifact runs, you can only obtain up to 42,000 artifact EXP per day, and that is about, I believe in estimation, that should be rough. You can bring a 5-star artifact from level 0 to level 8, and this is assuming that all of those artifacts are, let's say, 1-star artifacts. So if you probably will run into like a few 2-star artifacts, or maybe 3 stars if you're lucky enough. So there is that. But yeah, So okay, post edit me will just put all of this in the description. If you don't know watch the run, that's perfectly fine. It'll just be a clip of me just doing my artifact runs the other day on live on Twitch, twitch.tv/ethereal music, links in the description. Also, if you want to ask me more or you just want to say hi, I have a Discord now. Very small community of like 5 to 10 people. So it'll be great to see you guys in chat. So you see you guys and chat along, build a bigger community because I'm recently starting out. So yeah. So this will transition to the next part of things. Hopefully it didn't take too much of your time. Oh yeah, also, one last thing I forgot. If you use Sayu, you can use Sacrificial Greatsword so that you can actually reset your roll at the end of the kick. And that's it. And we transition to the run. Or if that is it, I'll leave timestamps if you guys don't want to watch the run, so that's perfectly fine. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. On to the run. And this will be for the YouTube frogs, whoever is watching this quote-unquote guide video for the artifact run. So yeah, the compositions that I would usually run would be the double Anemo comp, and I use Sayu because, you know, she can roll really fast. And usually I change the time to, let's say, evening, like 6 PM in game, because of Rosaria's passive, which gives you like 12% movement speed to the entire party member at night. And yeah, also I like to put freaking what's the word for that thing again? A marker near at the starting point of whatever artifact run. It's nice because it helps you keep track of like when your artifact respawns and when you start your run. So yeah, I guess just chill, YouTube frogs, while I absolutely fail at rolling as Sayu. Hopefully I can edit like some music in the background. I have no idea, I have to figure that out. So do I know Esfan? Yeah, I saw the chat. Esfan, I've heard of Esfan. That's all I can say. I've heard of the guy. I've seen like, what's the word for it? Yes, say hi to YouTube. YouTube frogs, whichever YouTube frog is watching this somewhere in the future. Hopefully the video actually comes out, because I'm gonna have to juggle a lot of things on top of like making music or something. So that's gonna be that's gonna be interesting. Oh, you gotta go? Alright, see you. Oof. Frogs, yes, YouTube frogs. Oh no. Angel Alert has to go to the Shadow Realm, not like this. There he goes. People buy. People buy. Well, it is what it is. Even though today's stream should be longer than usual. Also, for any YouTube frogs who have watched my video, I sound a bit off today because I'm slightly sick. That is interesting, weird feeling to be sick. Not that I like it. I don't think anyone likes being sick now I think about it. So my voice sounds way deeper than usual. That's one thing for sure. But yeah, okay, let's see. Okay, let me tune down the music on this side. YouTube frogs can't really see this, so that's fine. Oh yeah, that's super quiet. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, this is my usual route for artifacts. Since the video will have like there'll be links in the description for all the different spots where the artifacts are, but this is mostly for my route. So if you know any other spots, or are there other like posts out there that tells you any other spots, feel free to just, you know, do whatever you want, figure out a route on your own that fits you. Personally, I like to start in Liyue. I like to start in Huaguang, and I just go in like a top to bottom clockwise, anti-clockwise motion, I guess. So yeah, I guess that's that. Haven't gotten sick for an entire year. Yeah, same. I haven't gotten sick. Most I've got is probably like a regular flu or something. But that's because I sleep with the fan on, and you know, in a tropical country, in a freaking tropical country, it gets really hot. So if you want to sleep without your fan on, you're basically like, you may as well don't even sleep. Also, if you go this route, usually you would find Oh, okay, never mind, this guy's alive. If you go this route, you will have a chance to get like a few, what do you call this thing? Random events. So if you want to farm companionship or friendship EXP, you can actually do that. So I guess that's that. Yeah, Southeast Asia. Maybe whoever watches this video bought any Southeast Asia gang. It's funny because like whenever we say Asia, right? Whenever we say Asia, Asia is actually an entire continent. It's not like it's kind of like America but way bigger, but it's more of a continent and less of a nation. So like, but the funny thing is like every time people mention Asia, at least for us, we usually just think of Southeast Asians. We don't think about like the Middle East, let's say, because the Middle East is technically a part of Asia. It's just, you know, you don't think of it as like Southeast Asia, you think of it as like Middle East, like countries like what, Afghanistan or something. So I guess there's that. When I think about it, yeah, Russia, isn't Russia pretty up there? Middle East, yup, the Middle East. When I think about it, that's a very funny way to say things, the Middle East. Why is it the middle? Can't I just call it just middle, or like, and just not east or something? It do be weird. Also, any YouTube vlogs watching, I stream live every day. I guess it's just like a low-key like ad or something. I stream live every day. What's the word for it? Live every day, 8 PM GMT +8. Just doing my dailies in Genshin. I guess a short intro for me would be, hi, I'm Ethereal. I am a low spender. Been playing this game since day 3 of the global release, I believe. And yeah, oh, this audio is loud. FYI, I usually play the game at like super low audio, so I don't usually hear the game volume unless I like purposefully like turn the volume up. So I guess that's that. Usually I just like blast music in the background and just vibe. Because you know Genshin is one of those games where it's literally just like a just chatting kind of game. You just kind of put music in the background, do whatever like activities that are very off brain, and you just let it do its thing. So I guess that's that. Also, for any Sayu havers out there, if you want to make your exploration or your artifact run even faster, or I guess a bit more convenient, what you can do is, if you have Sacrificial Greatsword, you can put on Sacrificial Greatsword with High Refinement, so that at the end of your kick, when you hit any sort of like animals or enemies, you can reset your thing. So if I do this, oh never mind, it doesn't reset because on cooldown. But if you hit an enemy and Sacrificial procs, you can reset your roll and you can use it again to travel even further than usual. Russia is like above China. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Russia is above China, I think. But I'm not too sure. Oh, that's loud. Freaking hell, Tilichel. Yeah, Russia is above China, but yeah, I guess it's that. I kind of know my geography, but at the same time, I'm also not too sure. Noted. Yes. Well, that's all I remember. But it's not considered Asia apparently, so I don't know why. The funny thing is, right, I'm pretty sure the one common thing about all Asian countries is that they all have a tropical climate, and that winter doesn't exist around here. You either have sun or you either have rain. Basically, either the country is on fire or the country is flooding. That's what you call an Asian country or Southeast Asian country. You're not the app to use Twitch TV emotes, Sag. Oh yeah, right. Another thing that you can do to make your exploration a bit shorter is to use the Maple Leaf Gadget so that you can accelerate you can actually glide faster. Also, I forgot to eat food. That's that. Alright, before I forget, I forgot, but maybe post edit me will actually record it. At the start of every run, you can eat some sort of like stamina food so that you can decrease your sprinting or gliding stamina to make your gliding even faster. So that's pretty nice. So yeah, this is my usual route. Blah 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 blah. There's actually nothing to say. Just chill. Just stare at the white people happy in the corner over there. Yeah. Just let the white people happy be white people happy. Also, if this video comes out before the 14th of December, my friend will be doing the summons for the Ito banner live on my channel. He'll basically be he'll be streaming on Discord, and I'll be streaming the Discord stream live on Twitch. So like I said, if any YouTube frogs somehow finds this video before the 14th of December, I guess check that out. Or you can just visit my Twitch channel. I usually put like events over there, so if there's anything big happening, maybe I'll put it in like my panels in my about section, I guess. So that's that. I'm gonna have to perform acrobatics for this. Okay, never mind, I can't perform acrobatics, I failed. Also, initially before I got Sayu, right, I used Venti for the exploration team because he can bunny hop. Bunny hopping is essentially just you sprint, you hold your not to say you hold your sprint button, but more of like you sprint, and then every time the character's legs is about to land on the ground, you press space again and do this continuously. Let me show an example right now. So you sprint, and then you just start tapping your space button or whatever your jump button is. Essentially what it does is that it abuses the physics of the physics in the game. It makes use of the physics in the game where each character has like a momentum. And I believe the best character for bunny hop is either you can use a male traveler, or you can use Venti, or even the likes of Bennett and Xingqiu can work. It has to be like a short male character kind of model. So that's that. So yeah, bunny hopping. Of course, if you got Sayu, you can use that instead, but it is gonna be like pretty tough. Especially given how Sayu, Mona, and Ayaka has a freaking janky ass like sprinting thing going on. And you know what's funny? I want to say the mechanic is janky, but at the same time I feel like it's more of like the way MiHoYo constructs the map. So going up and down these stairs for Sayu is fine, but sometimes it just doesn't work, so I guess that's that. So yeah, usually these artifact runs will take about 20 minutes. If you don't have the time to do that, then you can cut short at whatever locations that you want to do. But mostly, I would say people who do these artifact runs are people who really need the EXP, or people who just generally have nothing better to do but they want to play Genshin or something. So I guess it's that. Stop. Alright. And the next spot will be Dragonspine. Also, in the video, there'll be pictures with all the pins for every location that I use every day, every 24 hours. But I don't have it right now because I've already done this so many times that I basically memorize. Yeah, Asian, I know, right? So I guess that's that. Oh man, I'm really feeling the flu. Let's see. So these 3 spots. And also, if you realize, all the spots usually are like... what's the word for it? All the artifact spots that you see in the pictures are Liyue and Inazuma, because Mondstadt does not have a single artifact spot. I don't know why. It is what it is, I guess. Also, you see what the handy tech that I did just now with Sayu? Because if you do a full, I would say, is it 10 seconds of rolling with Sayu? You would take about what's the word for it? You would at the end of the kick for Sayu, right? So let's assume this to be a full length roll. If I were to press E again, she'll do like a kicking animation at the end of a roll. So it's just a very minor thing. You don't really have to do it. But what I like to do is that at the end of the roll, I like to swap to a different character, because it's like let's call it an animation cancel. Yeah, I would say it's an animation cancel. So let's say her kick's about to come out right now. I'm just gonna swap because I roughly know how long her animation is. Also, alternatives to Rosaria is if you don't have Rosaria for the 12% movement speed at night, evening to morning, or basically night, you can also use the likes of Kea or Razor, or maybe even Amber, because Amber gives a gliding decreased stamina consumption for gliding, while Razor and Kea would have the same effect, except it only works for sprinting. Yeah. So yeah, 25% decreased stamina consumption for sprinting if you don't have Sayu or the such. So there's that. Wrong side. So yeah, generally this entire artifact runs, if you run the same team as I do, it would take about, I would say about 20 minutes, I believe. However long this video is gonna go. And this is using like the, using food buff on top of double Anemo with Rosaria or like Kea to maximize my distance within one sprint. Although to be fair, I do have Sayu, and I believe Sayu's roll is pretty fast. I would say it would be akin to, it would match the speed of Mona or Ayaka's sprint, but it might be faster. Don't quote me on that because I'm not too sure either. Also, I forgot one more spot. This one. So this spot has 4. You can teleport to the domain and just fly up here. To see all these breakable pots, you can like investigate them and get multiple artifacts. I guess, sure, what was that disclaimer I was gonna say? Alright, you don't really have to worry about having how MiHoYo adds new regions, and you would have to farm for more artifacts. You don't have to be afraid that your runs are gonna get any longer, because MiHoYo added, I'm not sure if this is like official, but MiHoYo added a maximum cap of 42,000 EXP for this kind of thing. So you don't have to worry about, having to spend 30-40 minutes, even 1 hour just to get these respawnable artifacts. Because once you collect enough artifacts to reach that cap, you don't have to, the artifacts will not spawn more. You're starting to feel it? Yeah, I'm kind of feeling it, but I'm like low-key resisting it. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. Oh, that's loud. It is weird. Still just gonna drink water, as always. Oh damn. God damn it. Yeah, that's the one thing, that's the one weakness about Sayu, is that she can't roll very consistently. Especially on different elevations, which is really annoying. And you can shoot this barrel, the Tanuki will spawn. We'll grab all these things, free weapons, so free weapon EXP. And we'll go on to here as the fire dies down. And there you go. But yeah, these are all the spots. Oh, we're not done yet. Maybe I shouldn't say that. There'll be a few more spots in Inazuma, and there'll be like a habit at the end. I have this one. There's this one spot in Watatsumi Island, not Watatsumi Island. And there's a single artifact spot in Seirai Islands that I use to check whether I have reached the cap. So I guess there's that. But we'll see. Video is still going. That's interesting. It's been 18 minutes. Wow, it has been a while, isn't it? Maybe we can cut off like 1 minute or something. Because after this spot, I think there's like a few more spots, and I guess we'll be done. Hello, Danuki. Tanuki? I think these things are called tanukis. And then you break this rock, and the tanuki will spawn if only the artifact doesn't fall down. Okay, this was the... Okay, next spot, Azuchi Beach. 18 minutes. Yeah, this is normal actually. This is normal. It takes relatively about 20 minutes, I believe, for the entire run. You know, for 42,000 EXP, honestly, it's actually not bad. Hi Karagis. So you run past these Karagis, or you can just run around these Karagis, and this spot should have these two. And then the last few spots will go to the Higi village. Higi village has like 2 around there, I believe. And then we'll go Tatarasuna last. Why do I go to Tatarasuna last? That's just like a preference or a habit kind of thing. Actually, you know what? I missed something. There's one here. The Momiji Dight Court should have one. I nearly forgot. So I'll just roll a Sayu here. No free crystal marrow today, Satch. And I believe maximum distance I should be able to hit one of these samurais for sacrificial reset. Never mind, I failed too. that was a fail. Whoops. So there's this tent over here that should give I would say like this one, only specifically this one. Grab the Mora, leave, and we'll be at the last few spots here. I hope the audio isn't too loud because, well, I guess it wouldn't be too loud actually, it would be kind of soft. I'm kind of just like talking normally as always. So Higi village will have this spot with the Tanuki and the one camp. Just trigger the Tanuki by just, you know, being near them. Let them play their dancing animation. Then just let them teleport. This is one. Tanuki will turn to a box, you break this box, and then you get one artifact. But we're not done yet. And then I believe there's a gravestone right in front of it here. That gravestone itself is a single location for one artifact. And then we'll end things off at Tatarasuna. So this is where I like to TP over here, and I use the Kazuha gadget or the Maple Leaf gadget to glide all the way down the furnace. Of course, if you haven't unlocked Inazuma or if you haven't played much of Inazuma, I would say the Mikage furnace would be an annoying location to get to because it's basically just Chernobyl because it has a radiation. But if you've already done this and you're like a veteran, then yeah, sure. But if you haven't done this, then feel free to skip it. You know, you don't have to like get every single artifact. It's just if you really have nothing better to do and you want like that extra artifact EXP, you can do this. The Zhongli pillar, jump over to the other side. This one aren't artifacts, I just like to grab it because it's like a free weapon. There'll be some Hilichos that spawn here, so do be a bit wary. They may knock you off. They may actually knock him off. Sayu, please roll. The area of Greystone reminds me of a spot in the Afro Samurai, I see. Then we go here. Jump down there. I nearly fell off. I closed my eyes for 1 second, I thought my Banty was gonna break his knees again. And for some reason, those Hilichos that are 3 miles above us are still like triggered. And that is all the spots. And then, what I do is I like to teleport to this specific TP in Seirai Islands. And right in front of you should be a camp that has like 1 or 2 artifact spots. So if it's still lighted up, that means you have a chance to get like a few more extra artifacts to get, you know, before you reach the cap. That means you haven't reached the 42k cap. But if you don't see any like glitter or any like shining thing, that means you've gotten everything. So yeah, 23 minutes. I guess that's okay. Yeah, sub 23 minutes. Okay, YouTube Frogs. I guess that'll be the end of the video. There's really nothing else I can say. I stream live on Twitch every day. Genshin, I mentioned that before, just selling out again. And yeah, hope you guys find this useful. Bye bye.